Where Am I is recorded and produced on the unceded lands of the Gadigal and Wongal people. We acknowledge the traditional owners and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Three unique voices: Lima, living life blind; Jamal, navigating the world with vision impairment; and me, Ellie, limited mobility and always in need of a 5-minute rest. This is Where Am I? A podcast offering real insights into living with disability and accessibility in our communities.
What's happening, everybody? It's Lima and Jamal here from Anything Goes, doing a Where Am I? And where are we today, Lima?
Australian Museum.
That's right. I'm very excited. Have you been to a museum before?
Yeah, ages ago, a while ago. But we've got to check out exhibition, accessibility, all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been to a museum since I was like a little kid, and I went to this. I can't remember what museum it was, but it was here in Sydney, and it was a special event for blind and vision impaired kids. And I don't think I've been to a museum since, because I'm like, what's the point? It's all visual content. I don't know if I'll enjoy it that much. So today will be a new experience for me to see what accessibility is like these days. We've come up an elevator. This place is absolutely pumping because we're here in school holiday times. Which that may or may not be your thing, but makes it a little bit tough to navigate around. But I mean, look, if there's a lot of people here, it means there's exciting things happening. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the day. Let's do it. All right, now we're about to kick off our first exhibition of the day. We're going to the mineral exhibition.
We need a yes.
Yes. Level 1. Let's do it.
Okay, so what I've done now is I've just taken a picture using an AI app, and it gives me a visual description of what I've just photographed. So I'll slow it down.
Characters, word, speaking rate, activities, speaking rate 60%.
And now you'll be able to hear the description of whatever window I've taken a photo of.
Image, a display case featuring various mineral and crystal specimens. The specimens are arranged on shelves in a base, with vibrant colours including reds, greens, and oranges. The case is well lit, highlighting the textures and details of the minerals. Reflections on the glass and surrounding exhibits are visible.
So I may have been a little bit disrespectful to the rocks earlier on in our recording, as these rocks are special rocks because they are colourful.
Start to collapsed. Westpac Long Gallery. Audio timeline. Play.
Here in the Westpac Long Gallery, you will discover 100 of the Australian Museum's greatest treasures. Some are treasures because they are very old, some because they are very rare. Others are treasures because of the stories they tell, who made them, who found them, or who owned them. A story about the museum, about Australia and its history, or about the wonders of the natural world. Enter the gallery and discover the stories behind 100 treasures of the Australian Museum. Basically, it does go through each window, which is nice to have a cool description. The voiceover is actually really well recorded. They sound really good.
For some guy that's on his phone all the time, I'm surprised he didn't figure out before me.
Sneak this.
That wasn't even a sneak dish.
Actions available. Screen recording. The display includes realistic models of birds such as gulls and others, positioned on rocks and near nests. The backdrop features a painted ocean view with a shoreline and hills under a partly cloudy sky. The diorama is enclosed in glass, reflecting the surrounding environment of an indoor exhibit space.
So here we are at the 200 Treasures exhibit. We've taken some AI photos, so Lima and I have a rough idea of what's going on around us, but we're being joined by Farley, who works here at the Australian Museum, and she's going to give us a bit of a better idea of what's happening.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Farley Fitzgerald. I'm the head of communications here at the Australian Museum. We're currently sitting in the beautiful Westpac Long Gallery, which is actually the original gallery of the Australian Museum. The Australian Museum is Australia's first museum. It was founded in 1827, so we are coming up on our 200th anniversary. The Westpac Long Gallery, where we're sitting today, is a beautiful heritage-listed gallery. It is the original gallery from when the Australian Museum first opened. It's about 3 stories high, and our 200 Treasures exhibition features 100 treasures from the Australian Museum collection, which is the largest in the Southern Hemisphere, accompanied by 100 of Australia's most influential people, which are located up on the 2nd floor. I love this gallery because it's such a range of objects and artifacts artifacts that really represent everything the Australian Museum encompasses, from natural history to our world history collections and our scientific collections as well. It's kind of a treasure box of beautiful objects from all of our different areas of the collection. One of my favorite objects is here on the left-hand side when you enter. It's actually the director's chair of one of the early curators of the museum named Jared Kraft. We featured the chair in this exhibition as he was one of the early curators who involved with Darwinism, and actually the board at the time weren't aligned with Charles Darwin's beliefs of evolution, and so they actually ousted Jared Kraft from the museum. He wasn't allowed back in, and they had big heavy weightlifters carry him out on the chair and booted him from the museum. So we included it because, of course, we are now a very scientific institution and do follow those beliefs. So that's a really fun object. You'll notice when you walk in on the left-hand side, we're seated actually directly across from Eric the pliosaur, and he's actually an opalized dinosaur fossil. So that's a really, really amazing object to check out as well. I know you guys were up in the minerals gallery. There are a few other beautiful minerals specimens that are featured in this gallery. But yes, 100 amazing objects that represent kind of everything the museum stands for.
Yeah, we found out that there's a big floating skeleton above us. We took a photo using AI, and we got told there's a big floating skeleton. What is it?
Amazing question. We are seated directly under, I believe it's an ancient elk skeleton from Ireland or Scotland, if I am correct. A personal anecdote of my time at the museum is, and this is good background for the gallery as well, this gallery was restored in 2017 as part of the museum's big master plan to redo all of our public spaces. And I joined the museum in 2020, where we reopened after our major renovation known as Project Discover. And so to showcase the new galleries, we actually flew a drone through this gallery, and it is those 3 levels tall. And I had to make sure that the person flying the drone avoided running into the elk that's floating above us, which gave me a lot of anxiety.
This is one of the permanent exhibitions. There are different ones. Are there temporary exhibitions on?
Another great question. Yes, this is one of our permanent galleries at the Australian Museum. We do run special exhibitions. So our current major summer exhibition is called Machu Picchu and the Golden Empires of Peru. That's on until May 11th. So a great thing about the Australian Museum is general admission is completely free, so all of our permanent exhibitions are included with free general entry, but our special exhibitions like Machu Picchu do require a paid ticket. So where we're sitting now and all of the other permanent galleries are included with that free general admission, which is a great thing for the public to be able to come in without having to pay an admission fee.
What sort of accessibility features are around the exhibitions throughout the museum?
Yes, so several of our galleries, including this one that we're seated in today, the 200 Treasures Gallery, do have audio guides that are available on the Australian Museum website. So you can go to our website, click on the audio guide, pop in your own headphones, and actually take a free audio tour of the exhibition. Wild Planet, which is a gallery that connects through to this one, also has audio guides, and we're in the process of developing additional audio guides for the other galleries. We have other accessibility features, including our Early Birds Mornings and Night Owls events, which are reduced sensory experiences for the museum. As you can hear and feel, the museum is very crowded right now, so those reduced sensory experiences offer a quieter window where there's less people visiting the museum. We turn off certain lights and noises, so it's a little bit of a more relaxed environment. And we have accessible facilities, including a changing places bathroom, which I believe we're the only cultural institution to have a changing places facility that includes a shower. So that's an amazing feature up on level 2, very close to our Borough Learning Center, for anyone that isn't able to use a standard accessible toilet, for them to have that option and use it as a toilet and shower. In addition to that, we have the new accessible entrance on William Street. It's a ramp, so everyone can access the museum. The original entrance was on William Street, where you had to go upstairs. So for anyone with prams or access issues in a wheelchair, you weren't able to actually come in the main entrance. So now we've relocated that to William Street, where there's a ramp, and we have ramp and lift access as well throughout the rest of the museum.
And you have rail on the elevators.
And we have Braille on the elevators, and I will say that all of this is informed. The museum is really lucky to work with an accessibility group that they're actually paid for their time. They come in and they advise on what we should be doing in terms of best practice for the museum, because the Australian Museum is somewhere we welcome all visitors and want to be accessible and inclusive to everyone.
It's amazing. Can't wait to give the audio description a try.
The tree of life is used to understand evolutionary distinctiveness. In other words, a species on its own long branch is considered evolutionarily distinctive because it has no close relatives.
It's more narrative driven than just like visual descriptions of what's going on. So that's kind of a cool way to do audio description, I think.
But if you want to do audio descriptive and you want to be courteous, unlike Jamal, bring headphones.
I mean, I have headphones, but I'm sharing the sounds.
Sharing the knowledge. Yeah. Okay.
Listen, as long as people are playing Eminem on the train at Liverpool Station, I'm going to play the exhibit in the exhibit.
Fine.
And an elastic ligament in the neck which whips the head upright after drinking. Like our fingerprints, the pattern on a giraffe's body is also unique to each animal.
No, the giraffe is very tall, obviously. 6 meters, up to 6 meters. Very interesting.
Yeah, this has been fun. I like the audio description. It gave a lot of details about the giraffe that I didn't know about. Lots of animal facts, which I'll forget immediately. But yeah, it's cool to know. And then taking a photo with the AI. It's cool. The
AI actually got that it was taxidermed, right?
Yeah, the AI knows it's taxidermied, which is interesting. But yeah, between the AI and the audio description, I think they're both really good, because the AD gives you like all these like added details, whereas the AI that I'm using is just like giving surface level descriptions. But I think it's cool to have both.
Don't come in the school holidays if you want to walk around without crashing into everybody.
Yeah, I agree. I think coming not during a peak time would have been a good move. So yeah, if you are looking to come here, try and organise maybe like midweek or sometime not in the school holidays. But like, there's plenty of space here. It's not like you're making your way through, like, you're not wading your way through a crowd or anything like that. It's not quite that packed out. But you know, it just makes it a little bit tougher to navigate around when there's kids running around. They're a bit more unpredictable than your typical adult crowd. But yeah, other than that, like getting around the exhibits is fine because everything's kind of behind glass. You can't knock things over. The rooms are pretty big, easy to walk around. But yeah, the elevator was accessible, so it's got accessible buttons. It also talks, even though it's a little quiet. Accessibility is pretty good around here, I think. It's probably better to still come here with support, I think, rather than come try and do this independently. But you could probably still make it work. I also came by public transport, so I took the train to Museum Station and then walked from Museum. And it was about a 500-meter walk. It was super easy. It was literally like, I think it was like one turn. It's like you walk straight and then turn to get onto like the street where we are here. So yeah, super simple walk from Museum Station.
We also have Nikki here, who is Lima's support worker. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience, especially as a support worker?
Well, it was a little busy, but access around the place was really good. The exhibit's really good. Like, there's a lot of detail into it, and the app, everything. It's an easy walk, even though it's up a hill a bit, but I found it easy to park. It wasn't hard for me to park. Lima, how did you feel about the walk up the hill?
I was tired, but not a bad walk, not the worst.
I like how Farley mentioned as well that they had changed the entrance so it was wheelchair accessible.
You got the cafe that you can have drinks, you can sit down for a minute and walk around again, like food, so it's really good.
So we're here right at closing time. Yep. We probably need to get out of here, otherwise we're going to have a night at the museum situation. The exhibits are going to come alive.
We'll start walking around.
Yeah.